Think of the 5 people you're closest to, whether these are people you hang out with, people you see Monday nights. This isn't necessarily your spouse or your family members, but the 5 people you feel emotionally closest to in your life. There was a really interesting study done at University of California, Davis, where they studied a group of people over 32 years and determined that health is socially contagious. You are 171% more likely to have the habits of these 5 people in your life than anyone else. And guess what? They're more likely to have your habits as well. So whether or not we like it, we are influencing the people we are hanging out with, and either for good or for bad. And so I want to talk about how we can use this mindfully to create more healthy support structures in our lives. So let's look at another study they did. I think it was, let's see. Oh, Indiana University did a study where they looked at married couples joining a gym. And what they discovered was when a married couple joined a gym together, they had a 6.3% dropout rate if they joined together. Versus if someone who was married went to the gym but joined on their own, they had a 43% dropout rate. So that tells you a lot about what the power of just having a buddy alongside you can do. Now, when it comes to asking for support, it's really important to ask for exactly what you want. I am someone who asks for a lot of things in life. I ask for discounts everywhere I go. I ask for wildly inappropriate things sometimes. And you know what? A lot of times I get yes. If you don't ask, you won't get it. But when you're looking to have people in your life who are supporting you, especially with healthy changes, they're not mind readers. They might not know that you need support. So don't just sit back and be like, oh, no one supports me. Who have you asked? So here's the formula for creating healthy support teams in your life. First of all, identify 2 or 3 people that you know, love, and trust who, for one reason or another, you feel like they would be supporting to you. You find this person, you go to them, and then you explain your goal. Like, hey, Larry, I really have a goal of wanting to run a 5K this month. I've been training for it for a while. I really want to make sure that it happens for me. So explain your goal. And make sure the goal is about you. The reason I want to do this for me is because, and then explain your positive outcome. It's not because I want to look better for someone. It's not because I feel so bad about myself and I need to pull something off. Keep it positive. Keep it about you. Another example with this is if you say like, oh, I really want to lose weight so that my boyfriend loves me more. Like, no one's going to be excited for you about that. That's a load of BS. So do it for you and make sure people understand your goal for you. So we explain your goal is, and then we want to explain why they came to mind as your support buddy. Hey, Larry, you came to mind as a support buddy because I've known you run a bunch of 5Ks. I see you doing healthy habits out there. And I feel like you're someone who could support me in this because I look up to you in this area. All right. Then third is ask, would you be willing to support me? Put that yes or no question out there. Hey, is this something you'd be willing to support me in? And wait for the yes. Hopefully they say yes. And then finally, make your ask. You know what? Would it be okay if when you see me posting about a run on Facebook, could you just drop a good job in the comments? Or, hey, would it be okay if when you went running this month, I know that you run on Saturdays, could you just text me and maybe I can come along with you? Or, hey, would it be okay if when you saw me actually compete and complete this 5K, could you just give me a high five or let me know that you saw me accomplish this goal? Keep it really specific, keep it positive, keep it something they can do. What we want to avoid is telling people what not to do. So in a situation, say, where you're trying to drink less and you're at a party, but you have a drink in your hand. Maybe you've already talked to your support buddy and said, hey, you know what, if you ever see me struggling, would it be okay if you don't like call me out on it? But maybe you could come up to me and like offer me a non-alcoholic drink. So that's a positive thing they can do. We don't want to make anyone else in charge of your success. This is not something that they're going to do for you, but just some tips on how to start that conversation. All right. Now, it's always fun when we do it with a buddy, right? So use the buddy system. I love this. We talked about the married couples at the gym. But if you want to have a buddy doing your healthy habit with you, look for someone with a similar capacity of skill. So if I want to go and run a 5K, I'm probably not going to try to buddy up with the guy who does marathon length runs every month. I'm also not going to buddy up with the grandma who's just trying to get out and walk her dog. I'm going to look for someone at a similar skill level. And then I'm also going to look for someone with a similar commitment level. If I want to run every day and my buddy next door just wants to go once a week, that's probably not going to work out. So do a little homework, ask around, and find people at your same level. And then the really cool thing is when you can put yourself in a teacher role, your commitment even deepens more. So not only do we have people supporting you, not only do you have a buddy system, but learn something about what you're doing. Maybe you're reading books or articles and share it with the people around you. Hey, I just learned this thing about the runner's high, or I just learned this things about a different way to do my pace. Put yourself in that teacher role. John Hopkins did a study with the coaches that I work with in an organization, and they found that people who put themselves in the role of coach are 5 times more likely to both reach and maintain their goal weights because they've focused their commitment. They're decided that they're going to do it at a higher level of commitment. And so when you put yourself in a teacher role, it really does make your brain sink further into that commitment. So look for people that you can teach, whether it's posting articles or calling up your accountability buddies and sharing with what you know. All right. Final thing is, let's learn how to receive compliments a little bit better. It's a little tough when you give someone a compliment and their response is like, oh no, I can't receive this. Oh no, I'm not worthy. You give someone a compliment, maybe you see that they've been working out at the gym and their muscles are looking really big. Oh my gosh, Suzanne, your butt looks amazing. Way to go on your gains. And what if she was like, oh, it should be so much bigger, or I skipped the gym today, and she gets all weird. You're not going to want to keep giving her compliments. So if someone gives you a compliment, soak it up, smile, say yes. That's it. That's all you have to do. But learning how to receive compliments makes it so people will want to give you more, and use those compliments as fuel so that you can really start acknowledging the good work that you're doing. Respond with positivity. Thank them for their compliments. Thank you for noticing. I've been working so hard on this. I appreciate your support. And don't set them up. It's really nice to get compliments, but we can't go fishing for them. The classic is, hey, does this make my butt look fat? You might want to hear someone say, oh my gosh, your ass looks amazing. Don't set them up. Questions like that, or, would you love me more if I did this thing for you? Or, hey, can you tell that my skin looks clear? I haven't been drinking. Don't set them up. Let people give you honest compliments. What you can do is just say, hey, you can ask them to be a support buddy, let them know about your goal, and then they can feel more free to give you compliments. But learn to accept them in a way that makes people actually feel good about giving you one. Now, sometimes there are going to be people who are impatient with you. We might have all run into that person. I've had someone come into my house who was just very critical of how it looked and, the tidiness of it. And there might be people who aren't supporting you in ways that is helpful. So when you have people like this, guide them in ways of how they can support you. It's really triggering to me when people make a comment about my weight or my looks. Like I really don't like it because it puts me back into like a diet yo-yo mentality. But when someone does make a comment like that, I'll just reply and say, hey, I appreciate your support. I've been working really hard on my healthy mindset and just making sure that this is something that I have integrity with. So I appreciate your support. I'm not like, oh, thanks for telling me that this looks that way. I just reframe it and I let them know what I'm excited about with that. And maybe they learn from it, maybe they don't, but appreciate their concern. And you can even say something like, hey, say that they're trying to make a comment about something you're eating or drinking that they don't think that you should be. You could say something like, hey, it's really nice to know that when this is something I'm ready to work on, that you'll be there to support me. Might be a little passive aggressive, but again, it gets them off your back with this. So remember, support is 2 ways. If you want to receive support, you better be giving it, okay? You can't just be soaking it all up and expecting people to give. If you want to get this type of support, look around and find the people also working on it and offer to give them support. Use that buddy system. There's a quote by John Holmes that I love, and it's, there's no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. So as you bring people along with you, as you support them, as you put yourself in the role of teacher, sharing resources, sharing inspiration, they're going to be doing better. You're going to be doing better. None of this happens in a void. Remember that initial stat with 171% more likely to have the habits of the people around you. You are influencing them. They are influencing you. So use that powerfully. And hopefully you can create a really amazing bubble of protection to protect your habits, to help you keep moving forward. And it's just really fun. It's really fun to have support teams. So go ahead, and if you can, I've got the worksheet for this lesson. Print it out, and it's going to help you identify who these 5 people are in your life, and if there are habits that they have that are so helpful for you. It's going to give you a formula of how to find people and what support to ask for them, and the asks you can have. Also, an action plan for finding people that you can support. And finally, just your final thoughts. What changes is this going to do for you? So I'll post the link to this worksheet in the comments. I hope you guys have a great day and go find some awesome support.